So how's life? How's life? How's life going?
Oh, dude, literally, I didn't even know we were starting recording. Like, I thought you were gonna eat first, and then we were gonna record.
Oh, I start. Well, I'm gonna start recording like this. Well, then, I'm gonna look away. People are gonna hear me with me eating. But yeah, tell the people who you are and what you do.
Okay, well, I guess my name is Miguel Gomez, but I go by VERyBLRy on the internet, and I guess I don't really call myself a YouTuber, even though I make YouTube videos because I do a lot of other stuff like visual art, writing sometimes, and yeah, like video editing. So yeah, I do a little bit of a bunch of stuff.
Where does the name Very Blurry comes from? Because I think I know where it comes from, but yeah, just explain to the people.
Oh, I'm glad you asked because it's funny because I actually have like this whole meta reason for it. Like it sounds really stupid, like the name very blurry, but it's like I have like a whole reasoning for it that a lot of people don't even realize. Um so basically, when I was thinking about doing like YouTube videos, right? Like the thing that I would do is first ask myself, well, what are the type of videos that I don't want to make, right? Like what is something that I don't want to do? And like the answer that I got was like, well, I don't want to just be a channel about one thing, you know. You know how like you have channels where it's like, oh, I do toy reviews or I do
Mm-hmm.
like I talk about movies, right?
Yeah.
Video essays. Yeah, like it's a normal thing to do on YouTube and I love that. Like I consume a ton of that. Like it's some of my favorite content. Um but because I have a background in like visual art, like drawing, illustration, graphic design, and I'm always like experimenting and doing new stuff, I thought like I can't dedicate like years of my life just talking about like video games and that's it, or talking about music. That's like no, like I need to like experiment and do a bunch of stuff. So in that sense, like it's sort of like I wanted my channel to feel kind of blurry, like you don't really know what I'm gonna upload next or what the topic is gonna be or how I'm gonna approach it. So yeah, it's like a really long, drawn out explanation for a really stupid name.
Mm, food. We're kind of
Food, yes.
the contrarians, because I am of the same ideology of like I don't give a shit what I make. I just want to make something. Of course, my channel has like a gaming focus, but if I want tomorrow, if I want to do a review of a book or an artsy video, I'm gonna
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, that's exactly it. That's awesome. I love that about your channel.
And like last year in 2019, I think I gave you like basically just was I recorded off the cuff, but I felt really bad and I said just run wild with it, just go for it. And like I think that's where like we bonded a little bit like artistically. It's like
Yeah,
it's great and we're gonna do
yeah,
it.
100%.
At the moment when it was released, I was in fucking Brazil. Like I did have like
Yeah, I remember.
I like
We were like literally close to each other,
yeah,
like
yeah, we
because
were
like
close to each
physically we're in
other.
the same continent.
Yeah, yeah. And like he was just like yeah, here's the file. I'm like I looked at him like I almost cried. I'm like that's pretty good. I'm gonna upload it, and that was done.
Yeah.
And
Oh
then
no, like
I
that was one of my favorite things to work on, by the way.
yeah, I mean we're probably gonna do this every year. This year is gonna be a little more structured, um, less rambly. But it's gonna have the same similar vibe, and yeah, watch out for
Nice.
that. End of the year, always like it's gonna be like I thought that this would be
A new
like
tradition.
yeah, like a yearly tradition that would be pretty good. I give you work, I get a video out of it. That's pretty fine.
Yeah. Everyone wins.
Yeah, win-win situation. So fuck, I forgot what I wanted to say. I always forget. I always forget what I'm gonna say. But since we're already on the topic of YouTube, how is your like your experience on YouTube so far?
Okay. Let's see. Well, that's a pretty big question, right? I guess like if I had to like structure it, because there's so many sides of being on YouTube, like let's start with the positive. Like the best part about doing YouTube, like hands down, has to be the community. Like like meeting people who are doing the same thing as you and who have like this, similar goals and like similar drives. Like that is so inspiring, and like something that I ask other like people who are like starting, YouTube, like who are the same way as me, like we're small channels, right? I tell them, well, like, becoming successful on YouTube and like getting tons of followers is like, like I still don't have that. Like it's incredibly hard, right? But like the best thing that you could do is like have fun even when you're small. And like the best way to like have fun is to make friends on the platform, like get a group of people who you like, who you respect their work, and just bond and like form your own little group and push each other to make better content, and like that's what happened to me personally, and it's like literally the best part about being on YouTube. So that's definitely the best part about it. Like when it comes to actually making the videos, personally, it's also really like it's helped me evolve as an artist, I feel like, quite literally, because like before doing videos, like I said, I would do illustrations, graphic design, all this stuff. But really it's because ever since I was a kid, like I'm just good at drawing. So it came naturally to me. So when I would make, art, I wasn't really thinking very much about it. I was just doing it. Like, oh, I can draw this character. Oh, I can make him look cool. I can make this cool illustration or whatever. It's very like driven by the aesthetics because like, I'm a big fan of making things look aesthetically pleasing to my eye, but like I wasn't really putting much meaning behind my works. And for some reason, when I started doing videos on YouTube, it was all about meaning. It was all about what do I want to convey? How do I feel? An idea, a concept. Because I guess it's like the first thing that you need to make a video is think about like why are you making the video? Like what's the point of the video? It's like the first thing that you ask yourself, which is very different from like doing a drawing or an illustration. You can just grab a pencil, start doodling, and you can make something cool. So it helped me as an artist to like actually think about why I do the things that I do. So that's a positive, but there's definitely negatives, right? The most obvious is like how long and arduous the process is of making a video. God, the editing is so rough sometimes, if you make the type of videos that I make, we're very like visually packed. And I wanna like tone it down a bit. You just saw this new video, right? That I sent you, and it like you could tell how much time I put into this fucking video, man. So yeah, like tons of time, but I enjoy it because like I'm making like a piece of art that is very personal. So it's like even though it's hard, it is enjoyable. So but like the thing that is absolutely bad, just absolutely negative, is like the feeling that you get when you spend so much time on something and you post it and then it just gets like no views or no engagement, or then you post it to like Reddit to try and get, I don't know, like some comments or something, some form of validation, and people just shit on you for no reason. Like so like the public reception can be really bad, but it can be really good because like I'm very lucky that the small amount of engagement that I've gotten has been incredibly positive, and it always fills me with so much joy with like when I read the comments on like a particularly emotional video and it's just a bunch of super nice comments. It's like it makes me feel really good. But I have friends who have been on the complete opposite end, who have made great videos and their fucking comments are just filled with trash, and it makes you want to kill someone.
I mean, probably Isaac is like the biggest contender in that category because like he made a very popular series called like Sad, which is very funny. But then suddenly when he doesn't make that anymore, it's like different content, like trying to cover music and stuff like that. It's like go back to doing Sad. It's like you can't do a series forever. And this
exactly. It's like eventually the joke is gonna get old.
And I definitely understand.
And it's like
go on.
No, I was just gonna say that it's funny that a couple of like aspects of music that he's done on his channel are Pink Guy covers, which is Filthy Frank, which is literally happened the same thing. It's like he did normal videos, and then when he starts doing music, he gets shit on.
It's just going back to the editing stuff. Like for some, like I'm not funny, but I try to use jokes. But for some jokes, like I spend literally an hour like for a 3-second segment. And like, oh, I have to find a picture. I have to go and edit the picture down to a certain extent and make it pop in the video. And then I have to keyframe everything. And it's like, cool. I spend
And
for
it's
3
just like
seconds.
10 seconds.
Yeah, it's like literally
I
10
know.
seconds an hour. Like, cool.
Dude, I spent like I think 2 or 3 weeks on this video, and the video is 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god. Yeah. So it's definitely
rough.
a thing of like scope. Yeah, it's definitely a thing of scope. You know, I feel like it's very easy when you're a small creator to get lost in the weeds,
Yeah.
you know, and just make your video unreasonably big in terms of production value, you know.
Yeah.
That happens to me all the time, and it's definitely a hard lesson that I have had to learn, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely rough.
I didn't have to learn that lesson because I program. so that's
Right.
like the main religion of program is like scope it down, scope it down, scope it down. And it's like
It's all planning.
Yeah, it's also about like do what you can do in your means and then slowly learn all the stuff you need. And the other thing is like be lazy. Just be lazy. Like cut as many corners as you can.
Reuse stuff.
Yeah, reuse stuff, cut many corners as you can. Not in the sense of like do shitty content. In the sense of like if you don't have to do it and it looks the same way, don't do it. Because in my mind, striving for perfection is like a meaningless task. You should not
100%.
never like have the lowest expectation whatsoever, but you should not have the highest expectation whatsoever.
Yeah.
And even like even the people that are like super like perfection they strive for perfection.
Perfectionist?
Like, perfectionists are like still not good, you know. Some people might not even like it, you know. Like you try to do the perfect thing, but you know, it's like I see art as like there's a product part of it, like you consume it. There's like a objective part of it, and there's a subjective part of it. It's very easy to dissect the objective part of it. In games, it's the gameplay. Like gameplay, can be hugely subjective. Like if the damage numbers are not correct, if like the player model doesn't fit the hitbox, like those are objective things. Like there's nothing. There's nothing you can say, oh, it's subjective. No, it's not. It's subjective. But there's a subjective part, like the color scheme of the characters.
Exactly.
How tall they are, how fat they are, how thin they are, how muscular they are. There's like those subjective parts, like how I like it or I
like
dislike
the narrative, like how emotional the narrative is or whatever.
Or like the development.
100%. I feel you.
And then there's the product part of it, like it has to sell, so it has to appeal to a big audience or to appeal to a certain audience, like. And I see that with everything. So striving for perfection is literally meaningless when you take all those parts. Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's like, like I said, it's definitely something that I had to learn. And you know, like if I didn't learn that lesson, this video would have taken even longer.
A year.
I cut a lot of because like, dude, like this is kind of embarrassing to admit, right? But like one of my first videos that I spent like 2 months on.
Wow.
Like I only spent 2 months on because like I was learning things. Like I wanted to do some things for the video, but I didn't know how to do it. So I literally had to learn how to do those things to like implement it in the video, you know? So it's like I was not operating within my means.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, learning something new is great, right? But like if you do it, you know, as a side, like on your time, just because you want to learn something, that's very different than like, oh, I want to make like this 10-minute video, so let me learn how to use this entire program just so I can make these 2-minute like jokes in this edit, right?
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make sense, right? Thankfully, like it helped me because I learned how to use After Effects, and then like I use After Effects on all of my videos now, you know, so it wasn't like completely wasted like effort. But the funniest part is that video, like that version of that video that I spent like 2 months on, well, maybe 2 months is like an exaggeration, like 1 month. Like I completely scrapped the video because once it was all done, I was like, you know what, this kind of sucks. Never mind, and I redid the video.
Oh boy!
Which is it's the what's it called? Damn, I forgot the title of my own video. It's called Intent is Key. Which the one where I like use like Logic and Speed Racer like as an example to like, you know, talk about like the intent that an artist can have when making a piece of the original version of that video like felt like a love letter to Logic. Like everything revolved around Logic. Like it opened with this like super sappy like intro, and like, you know, at the end of the video, I was like, wait, why am I putting so much emphasis on logic when I'm just using it? I'm just using him as a reference, like as a jumping off point, like an example. So it's like the real intent of the video was completely overshadowed, which is ironic because the video is about like the intent that a creator has when making a piece of work. So yeah, I had to scrap it and start over, and that's when I learned that like, damn, like you got to plan your stuff out, like really think it through, and like operate within your means.
I think that video was one of the I disagreed on the logic part of it. Like it was like I can't even open up. I probably have it still the comment.
Yeah, I
somewhere.
think you left. Yeah, you the level comment. Yeah, I remember that.
the positivity. Okay,
like, I like when people disagree and like, leave comments.
It was the positivity without any complaints or without any regard for the negativity that exists. Like I'm all about spreading positive vibes. Like only positive vibes. I'm like, yes, it's okay to have positive vibes, but at some point you have to acknowledge that there is negativity around us. There is a negativity in the world. It's like that's why like he has most of the times it's like only positive vibes has the opposite effect on me. I'm like, this makes me actually angry. This makes me angry.
Yeah, totally. And I totally agree with you on that. I guess what I was trying more to say with the video was like not to ignore like the negative aspects of things. But it's more about it basically like it summarizes to like you can still respect something while acknowledging that you don't like it. You know? That you can be like, no, yeah, like that song to me is terrible. Like I hate that song. Yeah. It sounds awful. I hate the message that it has. I hate this, I hate that. Mm-hmm. But I can appreciate the intent that he had and why he did it. So I don't have to like shit talk anyone who I hear talking about why they like it, right? You know what I mean?
It's like,
but I totally agree with you. It's like you know, like it's like if all you focus on is the positive, then it's like you don't know what positivity really is. Yeah. Because in order to have positivity, you need to experience the negative sides of life. You know, everything can't be good all the time.
It's like light without dark, good without bad, and all this shit. Of course, basically. all those terms are like, depending on the context, are inherently subjective. So it's like, what are even those terms mean? But you know, but we get the general idea of what those terms mean. Like, we know roughly what it means. Like it's like a there are certain words that are blurry. But there are certain words that in definition are very blurry. And that's why it's so difficult. That's why
I had to do it. Sorry.
Like that's why it's so difficult to do objective stuff, because like how do you even explain stuff when words can mean different things all the time depending on the context?
Yeah, and they can change meaning too all the time.
In 10 years, what certain words we use now will have no meaning at all. They're like, what does it even mean? Like people that won't understand it. Like
imagine if like in like 5 years, poggers is like all of a sudden like a racial slur or something.
I can imagine that in 5 years, poggers is a fucking racial slur.
Bro, did you just say poggers?
That's cringe, bro. Oh my god, that's cringe.
That's cringe, bro. You're insulting my gamer race.
Yeah. Oh boy. I mean, I am happy that I'm not in the gamer sphere, kind of, because it seems like a very toxic environment. I'm in my own toxic environment, which is myself. But it's like
you already have a toxic environment to deal with. You don't need another one.
But all the games I play are very. I don't know what. Here's the thing. Like I'm always on the brink of an identity crisis when it comes to my channel, because I'm like. At the same time, I don't want to define myself by my videos. Like, I don't want to define myself by the topics I take. But at the same time, like, someone that comes to my channel, like, we're gonna look at it and like, what does he even do? Your channel is very concise. High quality art videos, like that have like at least a message in it or the intent of giving like.
Thank you, dude.
Giving something out. My videos are like, here's an hour-long video about a game I play. Here's a podcast. Here's a 30 seconds video about how I think that calling everyone Nakey Jakey is stupid. So
no, yeah, I feel you. But hey, like the beautiful thing about the internet is that like there's and everyone is into everything. Like you can find someone who is absolutely into your specific blend of things that you do, you know.
I'm gonna talk soon about the fucking a company called Devolver Digital and how their marketing was super great, and then we're gonna talk about 100 gags.
Oh yeah, I want to hear that video.
So
I love 100 gags.
What is the connection?
I know, right?
None.
Well, the thing is, it's like, I mean, you even start seeing like big YouTubers kind of do this as well. Like Eddie Burback comes to mind.
Yeah.
Because before Eddie was all about like, you know,
Movies,
he would do like
something like that?
No, I think he started doing like sketch comedy.
Sketch comedy. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he started doing these essays, like these where he sits on his desk and he just talks, you know,
op-eds, basically.
Yeah, that but his topics, like I think, revolved around like not YouTube drama, but like things that he didn't like or things that needed critiquing in like the YouTube community.
Similar to Leon Lush, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not a huge I don't watch a ton of Eddie, but I do enjoy him from time to time. So correct me if I'm wrong. But then he started just like, you know, I guess he just got tired of talking about YouTube on YouTube.
Yeah. So
like he started talking about just stuff that he enjoys. And now when you look at his channel, he has a video that's on like what's it called? Like late night talk shows.
Yeah.
He has a video on like video game like consoles or whatever. Like his topics are incredibly varied.
Yeah.
But like everything revolves around his personality, you know? So I think we're starting to come to like a place where, you know, like people follow YouTubers for their personality, not necessarily for like the type of stuff that they make, you know?
It's probably that is missing for me. Like the personality. Like, what is it all about? Just like, what is this person? People don't like when I make videos that try to have messages as well, like about the games, about the companies I could look into, about like, and I think that's what you found. You found your identities. Like that's my identity, not in the sense of like political identity, whatever. It's like
like
your personal
your brand, essentially.
Yeah, like personal brands. Like, and it's like the problem is also like I'm such a contrarian that I don't want one. Like, fuck that. I want. If tomorrow I decide to be like, I want neon colors in my videos, I want to do that without anyone talking about it. If after 2 days after that, I want like everything in red, I want that. And 2 days after that, I want everything pink, I do everything pink. And so it's very difficult to like keep a consistent like brand if you say, fuck all of that.
Yeah. But here's the thing. It's like, because like what is stopping us from doing that, right?
I don't
from
know.
Just being like, fuck everything. I'll do whatever the hell I want.
I think
what's
like,
stopping you from doing that?
I think
it's like this idea of like, if I don't like follow this very specific plan, I'll never blow up, I'll never be big, or I'll never be successful, right? Yeah. And this is something I've been thinking about a lot recently. That, by the way. Yeah, and it's like, here's the thing. It's like there is no plan to be successful on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's like you think that you follow all these rules and then eventually you'll blow up. It's like, okay, maybe your chances will be a bit higher, maybe, but I even challenge like how much you're actually raising the percentage of you being successful. Because literally go ahead.
Go on.
No, because like literally somebody will just like start a YouTube channel, do whatever the hell they want, and like next week they'll have 500k subscribers.
Yeah.
And then you have on this other side this person who follows the rule to like a T and is constantly updating what he needs to do, how to like best fit the algorithm, and he's been making like videos for 5 years and he still has like 10,000 subscribers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so like like I give up on that as well. I just like, it's like, fuck it, I'll just do what I want. But here's the key. The way that I define success is very like personal to me. You know what I mean? Like I don't need to have 1 million subscribers, like sure, the ultimate goal is to like sustain yourself from your art. That's my ultimate goal, to just be able to make art as a living, right? But there's so many ways that you can do that now. Like you don't need to have 1 million subscribers. Like these 1 million+ like YouTubers with 1 million+ subscribers, they don't even make most of their money from ad revenue. It's from other stuff.
It's just like,
you know,
it's like ad campaigns or
it's like
product
or like
integration.
yeah, or like merch or brand, like, you know, stuff like that, or Patreon. Like I would be so fine with like just having, imagine like I have, let's say 20,000 subscribers, but I have like, I don't know, let's say 100 Patreon like supporters, right? And in the country that I live in, which I live in Argentina, right? The money that they give me would be enough for me to sustain myself here. To me, that's success. Like that, I did it. Cool. I can live and I can make the videos that I want.
Yeah.
So it's like everyone's chasing like this collective like idea of success without realizing that like success is actually incredibly relative and very personal to that individual.
Yep.
You know?
It's very self-driven. But I want to touch on two things that we talked about here. The whole following the rules in like rules in big quotation marks. I see every time I go down to the Reddit and like go to the YouTube, I see every time like a post that has like 15k upvotes in the YouTube or new YouTuber subreddit, and it's like, follow those rules and you will be successful. And I'm like,
yeah.
And every time I see people saying, yeah, those are good rules, I'm like, people, stop doing that. All of this has been said before, and you know what? Those people that are saying this shit, they're not successful themselves, kind of. You know, like
they're also like, small channels. Yeah.
Please stop. Like, please stop.
I know.
Searching for a niche, like the
it's
SEO
time to stop.
It's time to stop. And it's like searching for a niche, SEO, title, thumbnail. Like, yes, all those things are like important. It's like Craig Beckett put it, like it's like a lottery ticket. Every time you put do on one of those things, you're increasing your chance of like winning in the lottery, but it's still winning at the lottery, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And like, you know, the biggest, like what I have found is like the most effective way that will always work really is to just like network and have people who are like bigger than you shout you out. It's like, that's always going to work. So it's just like focus on making real connections, make real friends. And like, you know, like, because networking, people don't like the word networking because they feel it feels dirty. Yeah, like a bad word. It's like all networking is literally just make friends in your work environment. That's it. You know, find people who you like, who you respect, and make friends and like have like a relationship that will benefit both of you. And like, that's fine. Like you can be very good, real friends, you know, like via network.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna shit on YouTube real quick, and then we're gonna steer away from that topic, because otherwise we're gonna be here talking about YouTube for half an hour. YouTube is trying to get rid of everyone that is unprofessional, okay? They're getting rid of like subtitles, and in the Deaf Awareness Month, they getting rid of the suggested channels on the sidebar. They got rid of messages. They got rid of like personalized YouTube pages. They will get, at some point, this will be like a corporate site, and then we'll move on to the next side. So don't rely on YouTube. That's just my advice.
Exactly.
Don't rely on YouTube. Just make the videos. If I had another hosting website, I would host on there. But the problem is like it's the big YouTube is just the biggest.
Yeah, it's like the only one that really works. And like that's the thing. It's like this is probably the last thing I'll say on like the whole, you know, corporate YouTube or whatever. It's that like I really dislike the phrase YouTuber, because I feel like
it's video content creator, right? It's like, it's not YouTuber.
Yeah, like it's just like artist or filmmaker. Yeah, you know, just video creator. Because like when you say YouTuber, it's like why do you have to tie the company where you host your videos into your title? Like,
it's like
why
Googling.
do you have to identify?
It's like Googling.
Yeah,
you're
or
not
like
Googling. You're searching.
Yeah, or you post like music on Spotify. Oh, you're a Spotifyer now? Like what? No, you're a musician.
Cloud rapper. It's like it comes from people uploading their raps to the cloud, Spotify.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And I feel like because like it's something that people say it over and over again, and it kind of reinforces itself. Like when you say, oh, like I don't know, like let's say you make more artsy videos, I guess, like me, right? And like you make like short films, and you say, oh, I'm a YouTuber, and like, but they haven't seen your videos. They already have an idea of
like
what
a negative
videos
impression of you.
Yeah, or maybe not even, no, not really negative. Just like they feel that they know the type of videos that you make. Like, oh, you probably like sit in front of a camera and you talk and about like something that you like. Like that's immediately the thing that comes to mind, which is not negative because like I love those type of videos.
Yeah.
But like because people tag themselves, label themselves YouTubers, people like feel like they know what you make before they even watch your content. And like because that happens, I feel like creators are like they think, oh, I guess that's the only type of content that I'm allowed to make because that's what
Yeah.
people want or think that I should do, you know? So
Yeah.
it kind of reinforces itself in a negative way. Like I wish people would just say, I just make videos online and like I just post them on YouTube because like that's the only website that exists. But like, because like YouTube doesn't give a fuck about you or me. Like, why should I give a fuck about them?
Yeah. I have to touch it on it though, because you mentioned something perfectly. It's like like it's a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? If people tomorrow believe that making black thumbnails would be like the thing that the algorithm or the systems like, then suddenly
with Crazy Frog in the middle.
Yeah, then suddenly the thing the systems in place would recommend videos that have black thumbnails as the thumbnail. And I'm like, it's because of you. Like it's like we think it's like the site trying
you train the algorithm,
but no, it's we are training the algorithm to a certain extent.
Yeah,
and we are forcing the like. If people would just upload shorter videos all the time instead of following the 10-minute fucking rule, you know, then everything would be fine. But no, it has to be. Like,
I mean, it's like when you look at, I think something. What is his last name? I can't remember what he's called, but he's like this really popular YouTuber. He always has like celebrity friends or whatever. And he does like vlog videos. But his videos are like 3 to 6 minutes long. And he says that like, oh, in this era, like people have very short attention spans. Like I would rather just make a 6-minute video and jam pack it with stuff than make like a 15-minute video where it can't be as interesting. And that dude blew up. And it's like, oh, that guy's smart. It's like, yeah, he's going against the grain, but he's doing it in a smart way. And he saw success from it.
That's why I'm actually kind of happy about my channel, because I have 1 hour videos, I have 30 seconds video on my channel, and if the systems in place want to fuck me over, like I'm okay with that, because I'd rather have like all of this, like I see it like a buffet, like a giant platter of food. Like you can pick out whatever you want. You want to watch an hour video? Like I have that. You want to watch 30 seconds?
That's
I have that as well. You want to watch something in between? I have that as well. It's like I see that as this thing. It's like instead of like having like going into a certain category, like, oh, you have to make it this long or otherwise people are gonna click away.
Yeah, exactly.
It's difficult to talk about.
Yeah, like jumping off from that, right? It's like and moving away from the corporate bullshit YouTube.
Yes, please.
It just makes me mad.
Please.
Like I also have that type of mentality when making my videos. Like basically the mentality that I want is like I want people who see my work to be able to cry and laugh. You know, like I want videos that will make them feel really happy inside and videos that will just make them feel miserable, you know,
when, like, emotions,
when they need it.
Emotions, what you
want. Yeah, exactly. Like I want videos to be happy, but I also want some videos where, you know what, no, fuck it, I don't feel happy today. I feel sad, so I'm gonna make a sad video, you know? But very much revolves around how I feel, as you know, as most art does. Yeah, so that's just kind of like the mentality that I have. And like the big, you know, talking a bit about this new release, the new normal. It's definitely a commentary, right, on our modern times. Like, you know, like man, like this whole pandemic is crazy, right? Like we haven't even touched on the whole pandemic aspect of like being a creator. So, but yeah, like the video is very much about like that, like how we need to adapt to, you know, this new era that we're stepping into, because we don't know how long this is going to last. And, you know, even if the whole like virus goes away, like we have, you know, like a vaccine, I don't know, maybe half a year or whatever. And we don't have to wear masks or whatever. It's like things will stuff already changed and it's not going back, you know, like there's so many things that are just not going to be the same. You know, and we need to adapt. Otherwise, we're just going to be left behind. But there's also like a very meta kind of commentary with the video, because moving forward, like the type of like the way that I make my videos is also changing. You know, so it's like there's a new normal for me as an artist as well. Which I hope people pick up on that. You know, a little bit of meta commentary. And basically, like the like the mentality or the philosophy that I'm like injecting into my work now, and not just my videos, like because like I said, I do other stuff, right? Is essentially like I want to combine everything and have like a more, I guess, original product. I don't know how to describe it, but basically like if I make a video, right? Because like before, I guess I should talk about how I did stuff before,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um Before, like I would have my like YouTube persona, I guess, right? And then I would have like my artist or like my illustrator persona. Like I would have like a Twitter account, and it was like branded, I think like VERyBLRy art or whatever. And I would only post like drawings there and stuff. And I would like retweet art stuff and talk about art stuff there. And then on my Instagram, it was very centered around graphic design because like I have a background in graphic design, and like I would post a lot of graphic design art and stuff. And like eventually I got to a point where like it just got really frustrating having to deal with so many different branches of like my core, you know? Like, oh, I have to talk this type of way and Instagram. I have to, retweet this type of stuff on Twitter. I have to make this type of video on YouTube. And I said, like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, let me just combine everything. And, again, the only reason why I did that is because I was quote unquote following the rules.
Yeah.
Because they tell you if you have an Instagram gallery, the best way is to like have a consistent, gallery where like people can get a feel for what you do, or like, doing that. And like when it took off of that like barrier for myself, I realized like how much more potential I had. It's like, well, if I combine all of my influences, now like that is the consistent product, like the consistency of the product doesn't have to come from like just doing the same thing over again, but it can be of just having a very unique style,
Yeah, I get it.
Like,
I get it.
Yeah, and like so basically that was like a very and like I like deleted that like Instagram, that VERyBLRy art, and like on my on Twitter I meant, and on Instagram like I'm going to like delete off my not delete, archive all of like the art that I have there so that I can start afresh, right? And like on YouTube I did this piece, which again it's kind of like issuing a new era. So like moving forward, I'm really excited, creatively, because it's like, oh cool, like now like whatever you see from me, like if it's a very blurry product, it's like you're gonna see very blurry, it's gonna be me, even though I have so many different influences,
Yeah, I think we talked about this, but like I have a kind of the direct opposite development. Like in the beginning of my whole video making trajectory, I'm very one person. It's like, but I always wanted to separate those two. And like the more time goes by, the more myself and my video persona, like they are like getting apart, like really apart. Like you could literally call the one. Okay. You could literally call the one. This is Carl and this is Lucas, and it's like it's getting scary because like how can that like how can you like so like, and it's like nothing I can actually have like influence over, because like I'm gonna separate those two necessarily, just to keep myself sane, and it's I don't know, like it's like the direct opposite, like but more not content wise, because I want everything on one place so people can see everything.
Yeah, more like philosophy wise.
Yeah, philosophy wise, exactly. Like in real life.
Yeah, well, that makes sense, because it's like in art, it's like everyone makes art in a different way. Like I want to be more cohesive. Some people know, like they're like you. They want to separate. It's like an escape to them almost.
Yeah. Like I think making videos is literally like instead of me playing games, I play games and do videos about it. It's like
yeah, exactly. Like an added layer.
It's like I cannot enjoy video games anymore by its own content. I have to make a video about it. Like really pretentious.
Oh my God, yeah, that is relatable, because it's like I'll be laying around, right, just thinking, and like if I think something that sounds cool to me, it's like, oh, I have to write that down because I need to make a video on that.
Oh my God, I have
a notebook
the same,
full of notes.
Same, but it's on my It's on my smartphone.
On your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have it on my phone. I have a notebook. I have a bunch of stuff written everywhere. It's like I can't have 3 thoughts without thinking, oh, I should make something on that.
Dude, I if I open my drive now and I have a task list. Okay, here, what is this shit? I have a video. Okay, I have a video for like there's like a Babadook trailer, Babadook scene, like the movie where the mother asks, "Why can't you be normal?" And I want to edit that so that it's like basically YouTube and me like, "Why can't you be normal?" I have one thing that's called "Show me on the robot where he touched you." That's literally just the title. Watch all movies from Anakin's mom. But viewers in stream. That's the right now I'm developer expo how to marketing. AFK and Rena and predatory monetization. Like, and this is go on for literally like
absolutely no correlation.
Yeah, like, but this goes on for like literally like, and this is just on my PC. Okay, if I take out my smartphone and I open like my note segment, I have Katie Porter and the how she like really laid on this one guy called Big Pharma Industry. He basically fucked everyone over by increasing the prices, even though the thing didn't get better. And then there will always be a Bigfoot. Elisa Lam, Alice Isn't Dead, which is a podcast. Then The Lift Pen is Limetown. It's okay to end your stories. Time travel sucks. Waiting is not a game mechanic, and this is go on. Like Ben-Hur, Blood of the Braves is a PS2 game. I want to play that. I can't. I want to.
It just goes on and on and on and on.
I just have everything. I just have so many lists. I'm like, I'm getting through this. I'm fucking getting through this.
Yeah.
If I had more time,
dude. If only it was as easy to make videos as it is to come up with ideas.
Dude, the ideas I wrote down when I started my channel, I have finished most of them. But there's there's this one still. Look, there's this one big project. I'm like I'm putting off. It's gonna probably be the 100th video on the channel.
Nice.
And I'm like, it's gigantic. The background of it, not the video itself.
It's huge.
It's huge. I have the best words.
Huge.
I have the best words. I have the best words ever.
We're just gonna start doing like political commentary from now on, folks. So you like the video and then leave. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, I think people. Oh, I guess my last 2 videos were exactly 23 seconds. I'm pretty good. Okay, whatever. I guess people shy away from like political commentary and stuff like that. And like, I recently saw a video about like video games and like how they diminish, like the quality is like the diminishing, and like, why are games political? And I'm like, the reason why your games suck is because of politics, because the market is unregulated and 3 big companies share the lion's share of IPs and whatever. It's like, it's fucked because of politics. So why are games political? Well, because
they live in the world. Like, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's such a stupid like thing. Like, I hate when people say that.
Sure, not
like,
all. Okay,
it's fun.
Let me preface this. Not all games are political. Yeah. Mario Odyssey has no political message behind it. Okay, just saying. But most
behind
games,
like the kingdom of like the mushrooms.
Yeah,
like
no,
slave labor.
No. There's probably no like deeper meaning to it. But if you're playing a game that has like social commentary, like Fallout, it's probably political.
Yeah, exactly. But like, my problem is just like when people say like, "Oh, keep your politics out of my video games," right? But then on the other hand, they say, "Oh, video games are art." So it's just like, motherfucker, how can you say that video games are art, but also keep politics out of games? That makes literally no sense.
Yeah,
it's like for you to make art, you need to have some sort of message or idea or concept.
Yes.
And like, most things just by, living in society are political because there are commentary on social experiences.
Social issues are political issues. Yeah.
Exactly. And like, it's dumb. It's like, it's from people who are like, they don't want to be challenged on like their ideas, or their like prejudices. And that's why they say that. So that's like, when somebody says that, it's like, okay, I know what type of person you are. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
I'm probably not gonna get along with you.
Not all art is political. Yes, it's like some art is just like I played the game called Island Known Places. It's just about pleasant shapes, literally.
Yeah.
That's
But it's like, that's the thing. Like, there's so many video games. Like, it's like, if you don't want a incredibly, like, you know, like heavy-handed, like, political message in your game, it's like, you can just go play something that isn't like
Mario.
That exists, you know?
Mario.
It's like, you don't have to bitch about it on the internet and, like, you know, complain on Twitter endlessly to your, like, 2 followers. Like, you can just shut up and go play a game about nice shapes. There you go. And just have a nice day, you know?
Thomas Was Away. It's like literally just shapes.
Oh, I want to play that game. Yeah, that's been on my list forever.
Yeah. Oh.
So, like, recommend me some nice video games that you've been playing, Carl. Since I haven't been playing much.
Oh boy. Emily's Away you would like. Emily's Away 1 and 2.
Oh, Emily's Away.
Is 1 and 2.
I haven't played it yet.
There's one. It's not free anymore, but it should be. Yeah, it's.
I also want to play. Have you heard of the disappearance of Eden Finch? I think.
I do not want to play that game just because I.
Oh, you don't want to play it?
Probably wouldn't like it, just because of like.
Yeah, it's definitely like a walking simulator type. Of game.
I don't have problems with walking simulators. I literally don't. I think. As I stated in one of my videos, I think all games are art just by simply because of the nature. But the problem I have with walking simulators specifically is that they don't use the medium to its full extent. They are very
That's
good
also
at
my problem with that medium.
Yeah, they are very good at visual storytelling and like kind of storytelling in general, but they miss all the stuff that you can use on your PCs. Like, you literally have a 360 degree like vision, and you can use the mouse to click and enter, and you have so many like possibilities to control the character, the way you experience it, and you choose to W and look left and right. And it's like, you're not using the medium to its fullest extent. That's a problem. It's like writing a book without pronouns, whatever. Like.
Exactly.
Possessive pronouns. Right? It's like, you can do it. It's probably gonna be like cool looking, you know. It's like cool experience, but it's not gonna be for me.
That's also my biggest like problem with narrative driven video games is that like a lot of video games just want to copy film, you know. But it's like you can like it's like that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's like it could be so much like more interesting if you actually use like the game mechanics to tell your story. Oh, what a novel idea!
Yeah,
like, you know,
I think the most because I know a little bit of video game programming. So the problem with that is like video game development most of the time starts with like the gameplay first. Then with
that's the thing, because a lot of studios it's like they start with the story and then the gameplay is an afterthought. Like that happens a lot in Western studios.
Yeah, that's like it's like kind of not. So most of the time it's really gameplay first, and then the story is brought at the end. Or it's the other way around.
Right.
The story first and then gameplay. But they should always go
like
together.
Two extremes.
They should always go together. Story, gameplay, and like environment and world building should always go hand in hand. Because, for example, if you have a character and that is very fast, then you need a story reason for that. At the same time, need a designer that can design this character so that it looks fast as well. He gives the vibes of being fast, and then at the same time you have someone that programs the whole thing that it's like it feels fast as well. So it's like it's like it has to be like this monster of like that's why it's difficult to make good video games. Because because it's the approach is very difficult. Like you cannot approach story, then gameplay, then world building, or world building.
And I feel like also like the biggest problem with that stuff is that like because like you know in order to get these ginormous budgets that the AAA developers you know have, like they need to make that money back. Yeah. So like if they make like a more experimental or like push more the boundaries of you know stuff, and they make you know things that people haven't played, it might not sell well enough. So it's like they have to play it safe. It has to be, typical corridor shooter with like, stealth mechanics are tacked on and blah, blah, blah. It's like,
I would like to normalize shorter games. Shorter and smaller games. Because imagine like how good well, yeah, he's going to a social and political problem again. But imagine how good AAA short video games would look like and feel like to play.
I mean, they would look incredible because like they don't have to like stretch the resources to like 30 hours.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Why is that?
I would be interested to live in that world, but then also you need to ask people to pay like $60 for like 5 hours maybe, and I don't know if people want to do that, you know.
Not even 5 hours. I'm talking like about an hour and under. Like that's how short I mean.
That's an even harder sell. Yeah,
it's like, but then like make it $20 or whatever. But one of the reasons why those things are made is because if you there's a monetary reason, of course. Like you have to pack all your games in such a way that people like it. And we will sell a lot. So there's this expectation that it has to be a certain length so people are okay with it, and then I have to tag all this bullshit on it because some marketing guy said it should have all those things.
Yeah.
It's like all monetary. It's all monetary. It's not like it's not gameplay driven. It's not driven by
creativity or art. Or
it's not driven by anything. It's just driven by literally like focus testers groups and money.
Yeah.
Which makes the whole thing shit.
Yeah.
No, it's not
That's
shit.
Why, like,
it's just like me being
it's not shit. It's just very mediocre. It's just very normal. It's just like very whatever, you know. Like
I read
a lot of games.
Yeah, I read I have.
It's like okay, I feel like I played it.
Yeah, I read I have 500 indie games that are 5 minutes long than one game that is like 24 hours long, but it feels like, oh yeah, I played
doesn't do anything interesting. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people give video games like they give it a pass because it's such a early medium. Like if you go to the movies and you see a movie and like it has a bad story, like you can tell. You'd be like, oh, that movie sucks. It's like, don't watch that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's a whatever. It's
mostly
like a Hollywood remake that like is gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Like and like the masterpieces like the Godfathers and the stuff like that. It's like a masterpiece when you see one. But then when it comes to games and you play these like, oh, shiny graphics, AAA, it's like the story sucks. But then people are like, no, this is the greatest story of all time. Even though if they delivered that story in like a film medium, they would be like, oh, this sucks. Like whatever. You know what I mean?
I don't know what video games get a lot of
passes.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's a very young medium. You know, people don't know how good it could be yet.
It's also like a little bit of tribalism, right? Because I had a cousin. He played like exclusively on Xbox and like exclusively like Microsoft games, and he's like, yeah, Microsoft makes the best games and these and that, like the best console ever, and it's better than PC. I'm like, okay, so I'm never gonna
anything else.
Yeah, it's like I'm never gonna convince him that like there's a whole world out there that has completely different games.
I know, like that type of person is like, have you ever played a Japanese game? And they're like, no, I don't want to. Why would I ever play that anime game? It's like,
shit.
I like my American game.
Eat that shit out of the way.
No, yeah, but that's the thing. It's just like are you bringing it back to like making videos? It's like that's why I feel like having so many like different influences is so important, because it's like nothing in this world is really original. It's always like a remix of something else.
Preach, my brother, preach.
Yeah, I don't know why people feel like I'm this artistic genius
I'm unique.
that just made something that nothing has ever, like, nobody is like that. You know what I mean? You can say that you're like that, but no, you're not. It's like you were inspired by something, and that person was inspired by something, and that person was inspired by something. It's always going to be a remake of something, or like a remix,
A reimagining, a reiteration, whatever.
Exactly. So, like, how do you make the most interesting remix? Have a lot of varied elements. Because if you just take from one song, it's going to be a remix of that one song. But if you add elements of this song, elements of that song, it's like, oh, now you have something really unique, because like you mix so many different things.
Yeah.
And like that's just kind of like the philosophy that I've adapted a lot recently. I've always had it, but recently I've been thinking about that a lot. And like when I look at who are my biggest influences, right? I look at people like Childish Gambino or Donald Glover. I look at Kanye West. I look at Tyler the Creator. Frank Ocean. it's like all these people are in the music world, but I don't make music, you know?
Yeah.
But they influence my videos, not just my videos, but me as an artist tremendously. And like when I look at these creators, like these are creators who are known for doing so many different things, you know? Like Donald Glover isn't just an actor, he's also a musician. But you know, he does all these other stuff as well. Like if you look at Tyler, Tyler isn't just a musician, he's also like a like a fashion designer, you
Yeah.
know? He's also like Kanye West doesn't just make music, he directs videos, you know? So it's like these are my influences, people who like aren't scared to try and like doing new and different things, but always like stay true to themselves. You know, that's kind of who I want to be. Like when I make a video, I want you to like, oh, BLRy made that. If I make a piece of art, oh, BLRy made that. If I, you know, in the future make clothes, because that's definitely something that's interesting me. You know, like I think like, and not just like merch, you know, because that's fine, that's cool. But like sort of like Teddy Fresh, you know, like oh, that's like super interesting. It's like making like a legitimate brand. Like that's super interesting to me. Like if I do that once in the future, who knows, right? Like I always wanted to be like have the core is that, oh, that's a BLRy product. It doesn't matter what like form it's gonna take, you know that it was made by me, you know?
Yeah. I would like to make a game actually.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I would love to play a game by you.
That's not true. I would like to have a publishing company.
Oh, that's even better because then you can like find the really talented people.
Yeah, that's my point. I see all of this. Total Biscuit is one of like probably the influence in my life when it comes to like video creation and like games in general and stuff. And he said once like, I am happy where I am right now. Like he was happy creating videos and stuff. Like I'm gonna come to a point where like I'm happy with the stuff I do. Anything extra is like gonna be extra. It will be a nice plus to have like an actual publishing company and like do the publish the wildest stuff that I can find because I can, and knowing that there will be an audience that will at least try it out. Like that's like and like literally like there like on YouTube itself, for example, there are people called kingmakers. Like, because they have such a big influence, they can literally make the career of others.
Do whatever, yeah.
They can literally make. Like, I'm not talking about PewDiePie, for example. Like, PewDiePie is like the fucking kingmaker. It's like, he has a lot of influence for himself. He has no fucking influence on everything else.
Like, he doesn't even do anything with that influence, by the way. Like,
well, that's
he doesn't
another
ever
topic.
do anything.
Like, he can do whatever he wants. Like, but it's he doesn't do anything with it. It's like.
I don't want to shit
on PewDiePie because there's literally a video I want to make about PewDiePie.
Oh, cool! I want to watch that.
Called the literal title is PewDiePie an actual good YouTuber?
I know, right? Oh my god, I definitely want to watch that video.
I'm gonna get.
I like him, but I don't like his videos, but I like him as a person.
I'm gonna getting fucking murdered at some point. Like I wanted to make a video about like K-pop, and like the subtitle was something like the lines of like child worker camps. Like and like what does it mean? Like, well, if you dive into K-pop, you're gonna know what I mean by that.
Oh man.
Yeah, so like I have so many topics. I'm like getting fucking murdered, right? I will be absolutely destroyed. There's another video called that I want to make about Anita Sarkeesian, which I'm like already in the research phase. I'm like done with the research phase. I'm like not done with the research phase. I'm like gathering phase, and there's still a part of it. Whatever. Too many things to talk about. Too many things to do. Not enough time. Ideas. I need like 3 other me's that work on this like 24/7. What we're talking about? I always forget the fucking point.
I think you were gonna say, man, I can't even remember. I think you like I was talking about wanting to like. Oh yeah, you were talking about like if you manage to get like a publishing company.
Yeah,
like,
publishing company.
Like that would be like an extra thing.
Yeah,
you know, it would, like you want to be happy where you are now.
Yeah, you like getting a.
No, I feel that because like it's like you don't. It's like not saying that like once I get this thing, that's when I'll be happy or that's when I'll be content. You know. Because it's like if you live life like
well,
that,
I'm
it's
already
like
happy, right?
you
Because
get
I
that thing.
already have it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm already have it.
Oh,
Like by external means of like measuring myself, I'm a failed video content creator because like there's no like there are people that watch me like, but like yeah, not many people. But by my stance, I'm
right.
like I am able to learn every now and again, use new ways to edit stuff, and I can do this like weekly. Well, that's a success in my book, boys.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like very like it's very like core to like the self, you know.
Yeah.
You don't have to like measure your success by other people's success, you know. And like that's definitely something that I like have to like explore, you know, in my own life because like I have a, you know, I've been an immigrant all my life. Like yeah, I used to live in you know, I was born in Venezuela, right? That's my home country. But I moved when I was 6 years old to the United States. And I lived there from 6 to like 12. You know, so like my whole childhood, you know, essentially I spent in the United States, where I learned to speak English, where you know, all that. Then I had to move back to Venezuela, and I lived there for another like 7 years. But when I moved back, I moved to an island in Venezuela called Margarita. You know,
The
so I lived
city
on
is
an
called
island
Margarita?
for 7 years. No, well, I mean the name of the state because it's a state
Oh, okay.
in the country of Venezuela is Nueva Esparta, but people call it Margarita. You know, but it's an island. I say this because like living on an island is very very different to living on like mainland. You know, so it doesn't even feel like the same country. So even though I went back to Venezuela, it felt like I went to a completely different country because it wasn't the same. You know, on top of like my connections to that country didn't really exist because like I left when I was when I was 6, so you know like I didn't have any type of attachment. So yeah, I lived there for 7 years. You know, the situation there got so bad. You know, I'm not gonna go into it, but you know, politics and all that stuff. It got terrible. It's like one of the worst countries to live in. So we had to fucking literally flee. You know, the country. Not flee, like nobody was chasing us, but we left because it was so bad. And then we lived in where was it? Peru? No, not Peru. Fucking Ecuador for like a couple months because that was originally where we were gonna relocate. Did not go very well. So then like no, actually we can't really live here. This isn't really what we want. And then we moved here to Argentina. You know, so it's like all my life I've been moving all over the world.
Feels like
and,
me, boy.
You know that. Oh, nice.
But without the persecution, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And like because I've been moving all the time, it's like you know we're not really like a wealthy family, you know. Like I've been pretty poor like all my life, you know. And like it was always this thing of like, okay, well once I get this, then I'll be happy, or once I get like this amount of money, or when I get these clothes, or when I get like this PC, or when I get this or that, that's when I'll be happy. And like eventually I realized like, damn, like I'm like 25, I'm still like an immigrant. It's like when am I ever gonna get this like level of stability that other people have? Like if I wait, like am I really gonna wait till I'm like 40 to finally say I can be happy? Or am I just gonna be happy now? You know, it's just like, and then that led me down the path of like, well, what makes me happy? Like how do I define success? You know, like, and all these things, you know, and like that happened relatively recently. Like, that's like when I had this like this growing period artistically because I was exploring all these things in my life. I was like, well, I want to inject that into my creation. It's like my art is like it's like my therapy essentially, you know. So it's like because all that happened so recently, and I had started making videos recently. If you look at my early videos, they're very like, you know, emotional, or very like you know, thinking about like a big thing of life, you know, or like very like contemplative. But that's because it's like that's where I was at that specific moment in time in my life, you know.
I mean,
yeah. So like
I feel like your stuff is still like very emotion driven, but it's like now
because I'm like, still there. I'm still there in that place in my life.
Now it's more like self-fulfilling. Like it's more about like self-realization. Like
exactly.
The look is.
I hate when people say that like your channel is like a self-help. I'm like, no, you missed the whole point.
It's turning
like,
towards oneself, like observing oneself, and like looking for
Yeah.
stuff that like is like trying to find out who you are. That's
Yeah, who
that's
you
how
are and
yeah.
like what I think about the world and
Yeah,
about others and
something like that.
everything. It's just about me as a person.
Yeah, that's my point. You fucking egocentrical prick.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm the worst.
But yeah, like
Literally. But
yeah.
basically, like all like I think about like once I stop making videos, it's like what would I have left behind? That's something that I ask myself a lot. It's like like what was the point?
Yeah.
And if I can look back and be like, oh, that was the point. Oh, I did that. Oh, I did that. It's like, oh, it was worth it. To
Yeah.
go on this journey. It's like I essentially want my channel, and not just my channel, but my art in general, to be the soundtrack of my life. Essentially, like you can
Ah,
look at my work and get a feeling of who I was. Even after I'm gone.
cool. That's pretty cool. I always like to ask the guest, what advice would they give to someone that started a YouTube channel, and not the typical advice like SEO and something like the personal advice. Like what would you give
Yeah.
the people? Personal advice for starting YouTube channel or drawing or whatever.
Right. Okay. So I guess the like some of the first things that come to mind is like from the very beginning, try to make friends. And like not just because like you said, not just to get views or this or that or whatever, but it's like in the beginning, it can be very demoralized. So, but if you have friends, then you'll have a group of people who will be watching what you make, what you create, and like that can turn into motivation to keep going when you don't want to. So like, try not to be so cynical. It's like try to make friends. Try to be, make the best out of creating things on the internet. That's number one. So yeah, try to make friends. Even if it's hard, even if you're a super introverted person, like try to get yourself out of like that comfort zone because it's going to be very, very worth it. Number two is like when you're making something, or like let's say like you want to start creating stuff, but the problem that you have is that like you don't know what you want to do. I see this often. People who like they want to make art, but they don't do anything because, well, what am I gonna do? Like I'm not really good at anything, this or that, right? And like to someone like that, literally like just look at your life, right? And like because like everyone leads a very unique life, even twins will have very different viewpoints on the world, so like if you can't find inspiration from anything, like you like games but you don't really have anything to say about any particular game, you like music but the same thing, look at your life, like just look at what you've gone through, like experiences that you've had, and like draw inspiration from your life, and like that will make the ideas flow more naturally because like I said, like everyone like leads a very different type of life.
Mm-hmm.
So like try to take inspiration from your experiences, and like also try not to like be so literal when it comes to creating stuff. Like when I say, oh, look at your experiences in your life, then a person might imagine, oh, but I don't want to make like artsy videos that are like narrative this or that. It's like, no, but like don't be so literal. Like when I say take inspiration from your life, like that can take so many different forms. Like let's say you don't want to make artsy videos, you want to make like video game essays. Well, look at your childhood experiences. Like, oh, I remember like my first memory that I have is like me playing Mario Brothers with my brother. Like there you go. That doesn't have to be like a super artsy video. You can make a video essay on that, But now you have a topic. So it's like that's what I mean. Take inspiration from your life, So yeah, like make friends, take inspiration from your life, and try to think outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
I guess those three.
Cool. I can agree on all of the points.
Cool. I'm glad.
Most of the times I agree with the guests because they're very good advice, and it's always self-driven. Okay.
Right.
Enough of that. Plug your shit. Tell the people what they should watch and do.
Okay, so the very first thing that I want to plug is this video that I spent so much time making. Please watch this video on my channel.
Link in the
BLRy.
description.
Link in the description. It's the first video that you can see on the latest upload. Also on my channel, I have a playlist that is called starter pack, which is basically all of the videos that I think are like that best summarize what I'm trying to do on YouTube. So that's like, yeah, it's literally a BLRy starter pack. Also follow me on Twitter. I don't just tweet stupid shit on there. I also post cool art, and I also post cool art on my Instagram. Everything at VERyBLRy. All right.
Nice. This is a very short episode.
All right.
It's gonna be great to edit.